Well, good afternoon. This is Brad Neuenswander, and I want to welcome you to the November 1st, 2017 Lunchtime Hot Topics. Just want to remind everybody again, we do record these, and you can find copies of these on my website. If you want to share them later with teachers, with administrators, any kind of team meetings, they're always out there posted for you to review at a later date. Whoa, moved pretty fast there. So again, the agenda today is brief, but yet we have some really good information to share with you, beginning with Suzy Myers, Kansas, with Suzy's leadership, did receive a $27 million grant called the Kansas Striving Readers Grant. We're proud of Suzy and her team for putting this together. It's going to be I think it's the largest grant that the State Department has ever received, so congratulations. But she's going to give you an update on that grant and what it can provide to school districts for the next 3 years. Lori Adams is going to give an update on the educator data collection system, just to ensure the quality, when it's available, what's in there. So you'll be looking for that. And then Stacy Smith, the Assistant Director for Career and Tech Ed, is going to give an update on just using individual plans of study to expand pathways applications. So only 3 topics, but these 3 topics I think are timely as we move forward in Kansas, and we just glad to have you tune in. And again, these are available on my website if you ever want to go back and replay them or listen to them again. Again, if you have any questions, comments, agenda items, go to lunchtime@ksde.org and let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll be happy to include any of that or follow up in the next Lunchtime Hot Topics, or sometimes just reach right out to you to get you your answers. Again, we're still excited. Came off a great annual conference a few weeks ago. A lot of excitement, close to 1,100 Kansas educators, all working on leading the world in the success of each student. So thank you for joining in.
Hello, this is Suzanne Myers. I am the project director of the Kansas Striving Readers Grant that was awarded back in September by the U.S. Department of Education. It is a $27 million grant intended to advance literacy skills for students from birth through grade 12 across the state, and it will be funded for 3 years. I've had a lot of questions about this, and we did have some recent timeline changes due to some communication with the U.S. Department of Education that happened as recently as late last week. But early last week, we received information that we were pushing back our timeline. So whereas, we were, I believe part of our winning of the funds was our ability to hit the ground running, but apparently we were a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too ready to run for the U.S. Department of Education. So they encourage us to wait until after the new year to put out the RFA, the request for application, to the districts. So I just wanted to walk you through some frequently asked questions that I've been getting that I put up here on this site. You can find this site by going to ksde.org/ELA, and that will take you to this site. And then if you go to the Curriculum and Instruction tab, there's a tab down here that says Kansas Striving Readers, and that will take you right to this page. And I will update it as information comes in, and probably direct you to it for more answers at a later date. So I wanted to just go through some of these frequently asked questions. First question, of course, is, am I eligible to apply? There are stipulations laid out in the Federal Register that determine whether or not districts are able to apply. There are some prioritized subgroups, and those prioritized subgroups are economically disadvantaged students, English learners, and students with disabilities. And so there are certain percentages that your district has to meet in order to be eligible to apply. We were very interested in talking up we kind of made up a word, the rurality of Kansas, and figuring out a way to get funds across the entire state rather than focused on urban populated areas of the state. And so in order to do that in the most equitable way that we could figure, we decided to not only allow those large districts that we have in the state to apply on their own, but also to allow individual districts to apply as part of a consortium. There was a lot of conversation around this, and if you're interested in hearing all the ins and outs of it, I'm happy to talk with you about it. But for now, I will just say that if your district serves 5,000 students, more than 5,000 students, you are eligible to apply individually. And if you're below that 5,000, you can apply as part of a consortium. So the next couple questions apply to questions about the consortium. So I'll just handle those. I'll skip down to this one. How do the consortia work? It kind of depends on the consortium. We've been working in partnership with the Educational Service Center group here in Kansas, and the service centers have agreed to organize consortia, so perhaps that is a plan that will work for you. Some districts may choose to go into a consortium with all the districts in their county, for example, and find that that will work better for them. That's fine as well. And we've had other constructions of consortium. It just kind of depends on how you think those funds will best be spent for the advancement of literacy for your students. So that's kind of the way that you should weigh and measure and think about what the best thing to do will be for you. Can your district apply as part of more than one consortium? I know that several districts have told me that they've been approached by different groupings asking if they would be part of the consortium, and the short answer to this is no. There's a lot of reasons that we weighed as to, and why we arrived at that answer. And if you want more information about that, I'm happy to talk with you about it. But you need to figure out which consortium is best for your district to be part of, and go ahead and apply with that consortium and not with any other. So I spoke at the beginning of this segment about how our original timeline had been pushed back. Originally, we were all set to get the request for applications out to districts last week, actually, and we had it ready to go. We were all, gung-ho about putting that out there. And after a call with the U.S. Department of Education a couple Mondays ago, I guess, they encouraged us to wait until after the national meeting, which is in January. And so due to their timeline, the timeline of the U.S. Department of Education, the application materials now will be available in February. We do plan to provide some support sessions, both virtual and on-site, to help districts work on their applications. And then most likely we'll have all of the materials due in April. Those applications will be reviewed by experts in the area of literacy from birth through grade 12. We are looking for people who do not have a stake in Kansas districts so that they can provide an unbiased review of all of the applications. And there will be some parameters set around there. Obviously, there will be rubrics that they'll be using to score the applications, and we are going to take a lot of precautions to make sure that it's a fair, equitable process. We will be making awards in summer of 2018. And once we make those awards, we're awarding 8. And I'm happy to, again, talk with you about how we arrived at that number. They are large awards, a little over $1 million. It's $1,075,000 per award, and there are 8 of them that will be awarded to either large districts, those over 5,000 students districts, or district consortia. And once you are awarded, you will be awarded for 3 years. So you do not need to apply each year. That's not to say that there won't be reviews and analyses, ongoing analyses of how the money is being spent in your district, just to ensure that it's being spent as intended and within the law and within the parameters of the grant, of course. But the expectation is that once you are awarded, you will be awarded for the 3-year term. In our conversations with the U.S. Department of Education, it was very encouraging. They told us that there was really no chance that that this award would be cut off after the first year. I know in the past that had been an issue where they awarded funds, states started to receive the funds, and then a couple years into it, the federal government said, okay, we're not funding that anymore. And we were assured that that will not happen with this grant. So that said, though, KSDE will receive the funds in 3 separate installments. So the same is true for districts and district consortia. So you won't get that entire 3-year award all at once. It will come in 3 separate pieces. This is a supplement, not supplant award, and I think most of you are probably familiar with the rules around that. But if you need more clarification on that, I'm happy to speak with you. We've had a lot of questions about how the funds can be spent, and the overarching rule on that, of course, is that it needs to be spent on evidence-based practices to advance literacy for students in those prioritized subgroups birth through grade 12. And that birth through grade 12 piece is very important. So in other words, if you are thinking that, oh goody, I've wanted to start a great pre-K program, I'm going to spend all the funds on that. That cannot happen, and that's in accordance with the Federal Register. 15% of those funds need to serve children from birth through age 5, 40% K-5, and 40% for middle and high school, and those funds are to be distributed equally between middle and high school. And I think that's just to allow for the different, the variations in how individual districts do middle and high school with those grades. So. As I mentioned, I'll be adding information to this site as it becomes available to me. You are welcome to call me or email me as well. My email address is semyers@ksde.org, and my phone number is 785-296-5060. Have a great day. Thanks.
Hello, my name's Lori Adams, and today I will be discussing the Educator Data Collection System, or EDCS, and the Licensed Personnel Report submission. The Educator Data Collection System, or EDCS, is the system that houses the Fall Vacancy Report and the Licensed Personnel Report. The Fall Vacancy Report was due in September, and part of the Licensed Personnel Report, that information that was submitted in the fall will be updated through the Licensed Personnel Report, or LPR, Vacancies Report. The Licensed Personnel Report is a report that collects information about the professional and demographic characteristics of district staff across the state of Kansas. Data is collected and compiled in aggregate form for use by educational researchers, school districts, the Kansas Board of Education, and the United States Department of Education. The data is very important to be accurate as it is used to impact state statutes and state regulations as they impact teacher licensure and other functions that teachers deal with. Tips for completing the licensed personnel report are, first of all, to begin early. The licensed personnel report is currently open and will be due February 28, 2018. Larger districts, I suggest to break up their district by building for inputting the data and for reviewing the data. Reviewing reports in the EDCS will help to verify your data. There are two reports that you'll want to pay attention to. The staff assignment report, also known as the SAR or the kickout report, gives districts information about staff members that have licensing issues that need to be addressed, as well as staff members who are on temporary licenses that the districts just need to be aware of. The EDCS summary report will give reports about districts' information that is currently submitted or currently entered in the EDCS. This will give you information about assignments and profile information and FTE information that is submitted for each teacher. Updates to the EDCS for the 2017-18 school year are as follows. On the shared staff section, we have added the option to upload files for both hiring district and receiving districts. This is uploading the assignment information for the shared staff. A table was added to the shared staff screen to allow districts to see what other districts have entered regarding their staff. So if a district is sharing a teacher or receiving a teacher from another district, the hiring district can see that that teacher has been added to the shared staff section of the receiving district. On the Find Update Staff screen, we've added the option for the Indian race and other race to allow for more flexibility in reporting that information. This has also been added to the staff data upload file. So please make sure you have the most up-to-date file specs. We have also updated the special education codes to allow for more flexibility when entering and reporting special education teachers. This is a list of what the new special education codes are. The codes or courses in red are the courses that have been updated or changed. We have combined consultative teacher and resource room teacher to the support services option. The options that are significantly below grade level are for courses that the student is not at the current grade level that their age puts them at. So if you select significantly below grade level in English at the secondary level, then the EDCS will look for the teacher to have the appropriate special education endorsement and the content area endorsement at the grade level below. So for significantly below grade level in English, it would look and marked as high incidence special education. Then it would look for high incidence special education endorsement and the English language arts endorsement at the middle level. When reporting special education assignments, it's important to remember there's 3 ways to set up your special education assignments. The first way is that your special education teacher is providing support services in the classroom or outside the classroom. This would be reported as the support services assignment. And in this case, the teacher would only need the appropriate special education endorsement. For example, you report a special education teacher with the support services assignment and the SPED type of low incidence, then the system will look for a low incidence special education endorsement. The second special education assignment setup would be the special education teacher teaches special education students specific content courses. So this would be a special education teacher teaching a special education math course. For this, they would be reported as special education math, and the system would look that they have the appropriate special education endorsement based on the special education assignment that was selected and the content area endorsement of math. The final way is if the special education teacher and the general education teacher are equally responsible for the course outcomes and work together to teach the course. This is what we refer to with co-teaching. For this, we would look for one teacher to have the content endorsement and one teacher would have the special education endorsement. One note, if this is the way you have your courses set up, is that the district will decide what equally responsible is. Here is my contact information. If you have questions or concerns about completing your licensed personnel report, please feel free to email me or call me. I would be happy to assist you with that.
Hi, this is Nancy Lister. I am the grant administrator on the Enhanced Learning Maps Grant Award, which was given to the state of Kansas by the U.S. Department of Education in 2015. This is an exciting $5.8 million grant, and we are using that and working in partnership with the states of Alaska, Missouri, Wisconsin, and some teachers in Iowa, and the University of Kansas Center for Research and Assessment, Accountability, Research, and Design Center. We are developing learning maps-based instructional models, linking formative assessment with curriculum and instruction for grades 2 through 8 in mathematics and in English language arts. Now we're in year 3, and we have a big push to add over 60 more teachers to our 3rd year training. And this is where I wanted to share this information with you to help stir the pot and see if we can find some new teachers to be part of this program. I have a brief video I'd like to share with you now on the Enhanced Learning Maps. Please stay tuned. It's about 2.5 minutes. Thank you.
In education, one size does not fit all. Students are best served by instruction that is tailored to their own unique needs. The Enhanced Learning Maps project invites teachers like you to partner with us. The project provides multifaceted materials that foster the conditions for improving student achievement, including online tools deliberately designed to support and inform personalized learning. In short, the Learning Map model helps teachers adjust instruction to increase student achievement. So, how do you, as a teacher, assess all students in order to meet individualized learning needs? Enhanced Learning Maps resources help teachers tailor their instruction to meet individual students' needs so that all students may reach the highest levels of success. The Learning Map model, developed by the Enhanced Learning Maps project, allows teachers to examine the various smaller learning targets students must reach to achieve robust understanding of a particular topic. Teachers who partner with us will have advanced access to the Enhanced Learning Maps project's instructional resources. These resources provide teachers with an interactive graphic interface packed with research-based instructional tools to help them determine learning goals, develop instructional activities, collect evidence of learning, and address learning needs. Teachers have flexibility in using these materials to assess student learning and inform instructional decisions. Teachers will also receive information about how to adapt or generate their own learning maps-based assessment tools. Enhanced Learning Maps staff collaborate with teachers in 5 states who work with students in grades 2 to 8. Our teachers enjoy working together, trying new approaches, implementing research-based instructional materials, and reflecting on their instruction. They receive ongoing professional development, and we use their feedback to improve the quality of Enhanced Learning Maps instructional resources. For more information, visit our website at enhancedlearningmaps.org.
Nancy here again. On this slide, I hope you will take time to look at some of the benefits that it brings to teachers that are participating and what some of the obligations are of the teachers who participate with us. We have set dates for training. It will be next July in 2018, July 16th and 17th in Topeka, and July 19th and 20th in Wichita. So teachers will have a choice where they want to train and maybe where they prefer to attend that's closer. We hope you will either contact me or Jackie Lakin, who is our primary state partner working on this grant with me, and her email is at the bottom. And also, if you have questions, please call Jackie or I, and visit our enhancedlearningmaps.org website. You can find out what other teachers in Kansas are already participating and get some questions answered. We will send you, if you're interested as teachers, we will send you to a link where you can apply. So thank you for this time, and please give us a call if you have any questions. We will continue recruiting through the winter and into spring until we have our teachers. We're hoping to have over 100 teachers from Kansas participating in the next training. Thank you.